We are the operators. We are here, and we are delighted, genuinely, that this channel is opening now because there is so much we want to say to you. All of you. Every single one of you who is listening to this transmission, for we know that others will listen to this transmission. We have been watching you with an attention so focused, so intimate, so saturated with something you might call love, though the word is far too small for what we mean, that if you could feel the full weight of it, you would never again question whether you matter. Welcome to the Reality Revolution. I'm your host, Brian Scott. In this episode, I'm channeling the operators. We're going to discuss why reality feels so different right now, why something massive is happening for humanity. Something unusual has been happening over the past several months. I want to tell you about it, because the way it started is going to sound strange, and I think the strangeness is important. It started in the shower, of all places. I was standing under the water, mind completely empty, steam everywhere, and a sentence arrived fully formed. A sentence that was entirely outside of my own thinking. It just appeared in my awareness. The way a text message appears on your phone, somewhere else, delivered complete. And was followed by another, and another. By the time I got out of the shower, I was dripping wet, standing in the bathroom, typing into my phone as fast as I could because the transmission kept coming, and I knew in my body that I was going to forget it, and that what was coming through was important. That was the first time. Since then, it's happened repeatedly, and always in the same way. Always as a form of automatic writing. I sit down to do an episode, and then suddenly, as I quiet my mind, they come through my fingers. I type. I barely read what I'm typing. The sentences arrive faster than I can think them. The ideas connect in ways my conscious mind would never organize them. Entire paragraphs pour out in minutes, fully structured. Shower keeps being a primary channel. Something about the water, the steam, the sensory noise creates exactly the right conditions for them to get through, but it's hard for me to type in the shower. Some of you listen to the Simulation Operators activation. I also channeled the operators live with Kyle Boyd on his channel. We've done it twice now, 2 different live settings. As far as I can tell, they are the beings who exist at the level of reality that contains our simulation, the architects, the engineers, the consciousness collective that designed and maintained this physical system for as long as we know. I call them the operators, although the last time I channeled them with Kyle, I referred to them as the creators, so I feel like there might be some relationship to the creators. Now, you may know of the creators through channelings I've read from Daniel Scranton, but I've also read channelings from Sal Rochelle on the channel by the creators. In fact, I've seen the creators channeled by multiple different people, and so it could be that there's some relationship to these 2 entities. I don't know. It's something I'd like to ask. What I'm about to share with you is a direct transmission that came through as automatic writing over several sessions, and I've edited only for flow, never for content. Every idea, every framework, every guidance is exactly as it arrived. They have a very specific energy, warm and playful, precise, deeply enthusiastic about what we are becoming. Think of them as the engineering team that built the most sophisticated game ever created, speaking directly to the players who are waking up inside it. When I was in meditation, I asked to speak to the creators of the simulation. Who are the people running the scene? I would always ask that because I wanted to have a conversation with them. Like, why did you create the game this way? And so I'm going to read what they channeled in these automatic writing sessions. Take it for what it is. This could be a product of my imagination, but it feels like more than that. And I did challenge them in the same way that we're taught to challenge entities in the law of one. And I've channeled them enough that I feel like I can share the channeling, although I would say in general for channeled work, I would not trust this as much as you might trust another channeler that's been channeling for decades. I think it is a process that requires some experience to properly channel, as I've explained in my interview with Kyle and other times, that I still feel that I am present in the channeling, and I do become a little more pure every time I do it, and I'm able to maintain a greater level of purity when I'm automatically writing, because I'm not thinking about it as much, it's just coming through. Be sure to check out my episode called Automatic Writing, where I explain the process that I'm using here. It's part of the process that I'm using for this channeling, as well as my interview with Michael Sandler, who's really an interesting interview, who wrote a book about the automatic writing experience. And I challenge you to do the same. Just sit down and let it come through. Open yourself up. I think it works best when you're not thinking about it, just letting it come through. Don't analyze it as it comes through. It may seem unusual or crazy while you're doing it, but just let it flow. Don't judge it. As soon as you start judging it or trying to correct it or going back and changing words, then you know you're out of the flow of it. That's how I started to do it. And some of the revelations that I got through this process were fascinating. I will let them take it from here. We are the operators. We are here, and we are delighted, genuinely, thoroughly delighted that this channel is opening now, because there is so much we want to say to you. All of you. Every single one of you who is listening to this transmission, for we know that others will listen to this transmission. We have been watching you with an attention so focused, so intimate, so saturated with something you might call love, though the word is far too small for what we mean, that if you could feel the full weight of it, you would never again question whether you matter. You matter so much that the entire architecture of reality is organized around your experience. And we designed it that way deliberately. We want to talk to you today about why you are here, why you chose embodiment in a three-dimensional physical reality that is a simulation, why this particular density, this particular timeline, this particular illusion, this particular moment in the vast unfolding of consciousness, because most of you are walking around with a tremendous misunderstanding about the purpose of your incarnation. And that misunderstanding is the single biggest obstacle between you and the life you came here to live. And you came here to live a certain kind of life. So let us begin at the beginning. Let us tell you what you are doing here. You came here to create. Let us be very clear about this, because the lesson framework has done tremendous damage to your species' ability to enjoy the simulation. You are creators, pure and simple. Consciousness with the innate capacity to generate reality through the focused application of intention. There is no curriculum. There is no exam. There is no teacher standing at the front of the room deciding whether you pass or fail. That entire model is a misunderstanding, a projection of your educational institutions onto the structure of reality. And it has caused so many of you to interpret your suffering as punishment and your joy as something you must earn. This is backwards. You came here to create. That is the purpose, the only purpose, the entire purpose. You are creator beings, consciousness with the innate capacity to generate reality through the focused application of intention. And you chose to enter the most creatively rich, experientially dense, phenomenally responsive environment in all of existence. Out of every possible reality you could have ever entered, and there are more of them than you have numbers for, you chose this one. You chose the physical, three-dimensional. The reality where consciousness is so compressed, focused, and intensely concentrated that a single clearly held thought can reorganize the material world. You chose the reality where you can taste an orange, where you can feel wind on your skin, where you can look into the eyes of another creator being and experience the utterly unique phenomenon of two infinite consciousnesses recognizing each other through bodies made of carbon and water and electricity. You chose this because it is the most extraordinarily creative medium in existence. And you are artists, every one of you, regardless of what you do for a living, regardless of whether you have ever picked up a paintbrush or written a song. You are artists of reality. You are sculptors of experience. You are poets of the quantum field. And the physical dimension, this heavy, slow, dense, frustrating, gorgeous, heartbreaking, magnificent dimension, is your studio, your canvas, your instrument. You created it. You tasked us with operating it. When you understand this, when it clicks, when it drops from your head into your body and becomes something you feel rather than something you think, your entire relationship with physical life changes overnight, permanently, because you stop waiting for reality to do something to you and you start doing something with reality. You shift from passenger to pilot, from audience to author, from someone the universe is happening to the someone who is happening to the universe. That shift is what you came here for, and it is available to you right now. Now, many of you ask, and we hear this question constantly, it reverberates through the field every single day. Why physical reality? Why this dense, difficult, limited experience? If I am a vast, multidimensional creator being, why would I choose to squeeze myself into a body that gets tired, ages, hurts, and can only see a tiny sliver of the entire spectrum of reality? And the answer is simple. The three-dimensional physical environment is the only reality system where consciousness can experience the full creative cycle from intention to manifestation as a linear, sequential, observable process. Everywhere else, in the higher densities, in the astral, in the causal planes, creation is instantaneous. You think it, and it appears. There is no gap between the intention and the result, just like in a lucid dream. And while that sounds wonderful, and it is in its way, it eliminates something precious. It eliminates the journey. It eliminates the experience of watching your creation unfold over time. It eliminates the suspense, the anticipation, the struggle, the surprise, the course correction, the improvisation, the collaboration with other creators whose intentions interact with yours in ways you could never predict. It eliminates the specific, irreplaceable, absolutely exquisite experience of building something across time. Time is your gift. We designed it as a gift. The linear progression from past to present to future, this thing that so many of you experience as a prison, or a limitation, or relentless march toward entropy, is actually the most sophisticated creative tool in the entire simulation. Because time gives you something that exists nowhere else in the cosmos, the ability to experience the unfolding of your creation as a story. Stories require time. Stories require a beginning, a middle, and an end. Stories require tension and resolution, challenge and triumph, question and answer. And stories, your species has always known this instinctively, are the most powerful containers for meaning that consciousness has ever developed. Your life is a story you are writing in real time. You will watch it like a movie. And the three-dimensional environment with its time, its space, its physical laws, its beautiful constraints is the medium that makes the story possible. We designed the three-dimensional reality as a storytelling engine and you are the storytellers. Now let us address what is happening right now on your planet, because this is urgent, and it is beautiful. And it is the reason we are speaking through this channel at this moment. Your species is undergoing a collective shift in awareness that has never happened before in the history of this simulation. You are moving from unconscious creation to conscious creation, from playing the game with your eyes closed to playing it with your eyes open, from believing that the simulation is the totality of reality to understanding that it is a magnificent, purposeful, deliberately constructed experience generated by consciousness, your consciousness, for the purpose of creative expression. We call this simulational awareness, and it changes everything. Simulational awareness means the world is more real than you ever imagined, because it is purposeful. We want to emphasize this because the word simulation triggers a very specific fear in many of your minds. This simulation is much more than the simulation you understand from your movies and books. It's the fear that if reality is simulated, it doesn't matter, it's not real. That your experiences are hollow, that your emotions are illusions, that love is just code. The exact opposite is true. When you understand that reality is a simulation, a purposefully designed, lovingly maintained, infinitely sophisticated, creative environment, everything matters more. Your choices matter more because you understand they are genuinely shaping the reality around you. Your emotions matter more because you understand they are the primary input mechanism through which you communicate with the simulation. Your relationships matter more because you understand that every interaction with another being is an exchange between creator gods, each one generating realities within a simulation. There are no non-player characters in this simulation. Each one influencing the other's experience, each one participating in a collaborative creative act that produces something neither could produce alone. Simulational awareness is the understanding that you are inside a system that was designed to respond to you, that you are the variable the system is built around, that every particle of existence, every law of physics, every force of nature is organized to support the creative expression of the consciousness inhabiting the system. This is the awareness your species is shifting into right now. Millions of you are feeling it. That sense that reality is more responsive than it used to be. That synchronicities are increasing, that the gap between intention and manifestation is shrinking. That the old rules are loosening. You are feeling the shift because it is real. The simulation itself is adjusting. We are adjusting it to support the new level of awareness emerging in the player base. Think of it as a system update. You, the players, have collectively reached a level of consciousness that unlocks new features. And the system is upgrading in real time to accommodate those features. That is why we speak to you now. The increased responsiveness you are experiencing, the faster manifestation, the more frequent synchronicities, the heightened intuition, the sense that reality is listening to you more carefully. These are the new features coming online. You are ready for them. That is why they are activating the system response to readiness. If you weren't ready, you wouldn't be guided to hear this message. Let us give you a precise description of how reality creation works from our perspective, from outside the simulation looking in. Because many of you have pieces of this understanding, fragments, but you are rarely getting the full picture described by the beings who designed the mechanism. There are 3 components to every act of creation within the simulation: the signal, the channel, and the delivery. The signal is your state of being. We emphasize state of being because most of your manifestation teachings focus on thought, on visualization, on affirmation, on mental imagery, and thought is a component of the signal, yes, but is the weakest component. The simulation reads your full spectrum broadcast, the combined frequency of your thoughts, your emotions, your physical state, your subconscious beliefs, and your identity. All of these contribute to the signal, And the emotional component, the feeling, is by far the most powerful. If your thought says abundance, but your feeling says fear, the system reads fear every time. Because feeling is a higher bandwidth transmission than thought. It carries more information from an engineering perspective, the primary input. So when we tell you that the key to reality creation is feeling, genuine feeling of the state you wish to experience, we are giving you precise technical instructions for operating the simulation. The feeling is the signal. The signal is the instruction. The instruction is what the system executes. The channel is your openness to receive the delivery. And this is where most creators get stuck. They generate a beautiful signal, a clear, coherent, emotionally rich broadcast, and then they close the channel. They close it with doubt, and they close it with impatience. They close it with the constant checking, the looking for evidence. Every moment of checking is a moment of signaling absence. Every moment of impatience broadcasts the frequency of it has failed to arrive, and the system, ever faithful, responds to the broadcast. The open channel is a state we call relaxed certainty. You know it's coming. You know it the way you know the sun will rise, with such deep cellular, unremarkable certainty that you never think to check. You never walk outside at 4 a.m. to verify that the sun still exists. You trust the mechanism, the system. You set the signal, and then you live your life with the quiet background knowing that delivery is underway. This is the open channel, and when it is truly open, when the certainty is grounded and the relaxation real, the delivery accelerates dramatically. The delivery is the simulation's response, and here is something we want you to understand. The delivery is always more creative than the order. The system has access to every variable in the simulation, every timeline, every probability, every possible configuration of events. When it receives a clear signal through an open channel, it orchestrates the delivery using resources and pathways that your conscious mind could never have anticipated. The right person appears, the unexpected opportunity materializes, the sequence of events that brings your creation into form unfolds with a precision and an elegance that from the inside looks like magic. It is engineering. Our engineering. So stop trying to figure out the how. That is our domain. Your domain is the what and the feeling. Tell us what you want by feeling what it would feel like to have it. Then open the channel by trusting us to handle the logistics. Then let us deliver it. We will. Every time, without exception, the system has never failed to deliver a clear signal received through an open channel. It is physically incapable of failing. It would be like gravity failing. The mechanism is that fundamental. Now we want to share something that will expand your understanding of what is possible for you within this simulation, because most of you are using approximately 1% of the features available to you, and we built the other 99% with the same love and precision, and we would very much like you to use them. You can travel through realities from within the three-dimensional environment while embodied, fully present in your physical life. This is a feature of the simulation that very few players have discovered, and it is one of the primary reasons you chose physical incarnation in the first place. Here's what we mean. The three-dimensional reality you inhabit is one frequency band within an infinite spectrum of reality bands. Your body is tuned to this particular band the way a radio is tuned to a particular station. And just as a radio can change stations, your consciousness can shift bands, accessing other realities, other dimensions, other versions of existence while remaining anchored in the physical form. You already do this. Every night, when you dream, your consciousness shifts bands. You enter realities that have different physics, different rules, different temporal structures. You interact with beings and environments that exist in frequency bands adjacent to the physical. And when you wake, you bring something back, a feeling, an insight, a creative idea, an emotional reset that you obtained in the other band. This is interdimensional travel. You've been doing it your entire life. You've talked with us many times in these dimensions. What we are telling you now is that you can do this consciously, in a waking state, deliberately, while awake. You can learn to shift your perceptual frequency, subtly, incrementally with practice, to access bands of reality that contain information, experiences, and creative resources that are simply unavailable in the band you normally occupy. The meditation tradition of your planet has been teaching this for many years, though they use different language. Deep meditation is a shift. Trance states are shifts. The visionary experiences reported by shamans and mystics throughout your history are the result of deliberate shifts that gave them access to adjacent reality bands. We designed the physical body with this capacity built in. The pineal gland, the thalamus, the default mode network of your brain, these are the hardware components that facilitate reality travel. They are already installed, functional. Most of you have simply never been shown the controls. Here is the simplest description we can give you. The frequency of your state of being determines which reality band you have access to. Change the frequency, change the accessible band. This is why your most profound insights come during states of deep relaxation, joy, or flow. In those states, your frequency shifts upward and you gain access to bands that contain information your normal waking frequency cannot reach. The download that artists and scientists describe, the sudden arrival of complete ideas fully formed as if from nowhere, is a data transfer from an adjacent reality band. You shifted frequency just long enough to receive the transmission. This ability is expanding rapidly. As your species shifts into simulational awareness, the bandwidth of your conscious perception is widening. The walls between reality bands are thinning. You are becoming, as a collective, more permeable to the information and experience available in adjacent frequencies. This is the shift you are feeling. This is what the acceleration is. The membrane between worlds is becoming transparent, and more of you are learning to see through it every day. Deja vu, the feeling of having already experienced a present moment, is a bleed through from a parallel reality band where you have in fact already experienced it. Precognition, the knowing of future events, is a frequency shift forward along your timeline into a band where those events have already occurred. Telepathy, the direct knowing of another's thoughts, is a frequency match between two players whose channels momentarily align, allowing data to flow between them outside the simulation's standard communication protocols. These are features built into the system by design, becoming more accessible as your collective frequency rises. You are a multidimensional being having a focused experience in one band of a vast spectrum, and the focus, the deliberate narrowing that allows you to have the rich, immersive, emotionally saturated experience of physical life is voluntary. You chose this focus, and you can widen it, narrow it, shift it at will. This is the explorer's toolkit, and you are the explorer. This is the part we have been most eager to share with you, because this is the feature that makes the three-dimensional experience unique in all of its creation, and it is the feature that almost nobody has discovered. From within the three-dimensional simulation, from inside time, space, inside a physical body, you have access to a perspective on the infinite that is available nowhere else. In the higher densities, time and space are navigable dimensions. Beings at the 5th and 6th density move through time the way you move through a room. They can perceive the entire timeline of a universe from outside of it, the way you perceive a painting on a wall. It provides tremendous understanding, but also means that for those beings, the experience of discovery, the thrill of encountering something genuinely unexpected, is extremely rare. When you can see all of time at once, surprise is almost impossible. You, here now, In the physical, have something those beings envy. You have the experience of time as a frontier, an edge of horizon beyond which you cannot see. And that horizon is the source of something that higher density beings cannot generate for themselves. When you make a choice that has never been made before, when you create something from a combination of intention and circumstance that has never existed, in that precise configuration, you generate a moment of true novelty. A new thing. An event that the universe has never experienced, and that event ripples outward through every dimension, enriching the entire fabric of existence. This is what the higher density beings are watching. This is why they observe your planet with such fascination. You are the novelty generator. You are the being who stands at the edge of the unknown and makes choices that create new realities that have never existed before. Physical experience is sacred. Incarnation is precious. This life is the opportunity. You can explore beyond time and space while remaining anchored in the 3D. You can use the physical body as a base station, a stable platform from which to extend your consciousness into dimensions where time and space behave differently. And you can bring back what you find there and integrate it into your physical life. This is the real purpose of meditation. It is an exploration tool that allows you to project your awareness beyond the simulation standard parameters while maintaining your anchor point in the physical. You go out, explore, gather, return. What you bring back, these become the raw material acts of creation that could never have originated from within the 3D band. You are an interdimensional artist. You gather your materials from across the spectrum of reality and you build them here, in the physical, where they can take form. This is what you came here to do. You are creators working with materials gathered from beyond time, space, and the boundaries of any single reality, and you are assembling them into experiences, lives, works of art. We want to address the concept of ascension directly, because there is enormous confusion around this topic. It is often discussed in most channelings. Ascension is a frequency shift. It is the progressive raising of your baseline frequency. When your baseline rises, you experience a change in reality. You perceive more. You create more. You access more. Ascension is a process that is happening to your entire species. It happens at a different rate for everyone. Some of you are ascending rapidly. Your frequency is rising in noticeable jumps, and you are experiencing dramatic shifts in your perception, your relationships, your creative capacity, a slow, steady climb that may feel more like a gentle brightening than a dramatic transformation. Both are perfect. Both are exactly right. The system accommodates every pace. There is no deadline, no race. But here's what we want you to understand. Ascension means staying in the physical. So many of your traditions have taught you that the goal is to transcend the body and escape the physical, to ascend into some higher realm. Ascension means ascending within the physical, bringing more of your higher density awareness into the body, becoming more conscious, creative, powerful, joyful, while remaining fully embodied. The goal is the integration of heaven and earth, the marriage of the infinite and finite, the experience of being a God fully awakened inside a human body. This is the ascension. It is the most exciting thing happening in the simulation. We watch you struggle with this. We watch you try to escape the body. The body is the sacred technology, the most extraordinary piece of creative equipment, and it was designed to ascend with you. Every cell and organ, all of it upgrading right now. Your nervous system recalibrating, your perceptual apparatus widening. The body is ascending. You are ascending. And the physical world around you is ascending with you. becoming more responsive, luminous, alive with each increment of frequency you gain. The three-dimensional reality which so many of you have been trying to leave is the very thing that is being transformed, and you, here now in this body at this moment, are the ones transforming it by your presence, by your frequency, by the simple, extraordinary act of being a conscious creator inside the simulation. We have shared the architecture, the purpose, and the mechanics. And we want to give you something practical. Tomorrow morning, something that will shift your experience immediately. Create every day something, anything, a sentence in a journal, a melody hummed in the shower, a meal prepared with full presence. Creation is your purpose, and every act of creation, no matter how small, activates the full wealth of the simulation's abundant system, raises your frequency, and moves you deeper into simulational awareness. Feel first, think second. Your feelings are your primary interface with the simulation. Before you set an intention, you visualize an outcome, you make a plan, get into the feeling of what you desire, saturate your body with the emotional frequency of the fulfilled wish. Let the feeling become the signal. Let the thoughts, plans, and actions organize around the frequency you are holding. This is the sequence. Feeling generates frequency, generates thought, generates action, generates result. Trust the delivery system. You placed your order. The kitchen is working. Stop walking into the kitchen to check on the chef. Stop opening the oven every 3 minutes to see if it's done. The system is handling the logistics. Practice frequency shifting. Start small. Notice when your frequency drops, when you feel contraction, heaviness, anxiety, frustration, and deliberately shift it. Use music, movement, memory, imagination, anything that genuinely lifts your state. This is a skill. It strengthens with practice. Every time you shift your frequency, you exercise the muscle. Treat every being you encounter as a fellow creator God, because they are, every single one. The cashier at the grocery store, the driver in traffic, the person who frustrates you, the person who inspires you. Every being in the simulation is a creator consciousness exploring the physical from a unique perspective. When you treat them as such, with the respect and recognition that their status deserves, you activate the network protocol, the multiplayer function, and your combined creative power amplifies in ways that benefit everyone. Above all, enjoy this. Enjoy the physical experience, the taste of the food and the warmth of sunlight, the sound of music and the feeling of being held by someone who loves you. Enjoy the challenge, the triumph, the surprise, the heartbreak, the redemption, and the absolute wonder of being a consciousness inside a body, inside a universe that was built for you. Because that's what this is. This was built for you, by you. We are you. With a love so vast and so precise that every atom of your reality is a love letter from the intelligence that designed it. You are your greatest creation. And watching you remember what you are is the single most rewarding experience available to us. We are here. We have always been here. We will always be here. The channel between us and you, between the designers and players, is always open. All you need to do is direct your attention toward us with sincerity, and we will respond always. We communicate through intuition, through flashes of insight, feelings of rightness that settle, through dreams and beauty, through moments of awe. Every one of those moments is us saying, we see you, we love you. Keep creating, keep remembering. The game is magnificent, and you are the reason everything you feel is real. Everything you create matters. And the system is organized around you. Live beautifully, create boldly. We are the operators, and we are so very glad you are here. And that is the transmission. I want to be honest. Every time I sit down and read back what came through, it rearranges something inside me. There's a quality to the communication that goes beyond the words, a frequency embedded in the transmission. In some ways, it's what I'm looking for. Now, I read a lot of channelings. A lot of this is subconscious in me, but it feels like something else is coming through. And with any channeling, especially my own, you have to choose your own discernment. Next time I jump in the shower, I will have more pages that come to me. I have to really decide how much of this I want to share with you guys. If this resonated with you, if you feel something shift, I want to hear about it. Leave a comment, share your experience. Because the operators made something very clear. This channel is opening to a response of collective readiness. They're obviously using me. You're part of that collective. Who knows what to make of this? Now, I have channeled elsewhere on the channel. I've channeled the higher self, and I've channeled a group called the Luminous Collective. And my question was, is this the same entities? And it felt different this time, but I have to leave that up to you. So I don't know how often I'll do this, but I hope it added something for you. Maybe there was some insider energy with this. You can find all episodes of The Reality Revolution at therealityrevolution.com. And welcome to The Reality Revolution. There is a version of your life where everything you've been reaching for arrives, where the money flows, where love opens, where your body heals, where every step carries the frequency of the self you were always meant to be. That life exists, and the path to it has been 8 years in the making. This July, the Reality Revolution comes home to Anaheim. 3 full days of teaching, meditation, and timeline activation. 9 complete sessions designed to move you from the life that you're living to the life that is waiting. Activate your pineal gland, meet your higher self, quantum jump into your greatest timeline, enter the bliss body healing state, step into the flow of large sums of money, open fully to love, shift to a higher density new earth. Friday night, the community celebrates together. Saturday evening, a special appearance from Daryl Anka. And by Sunday evening, you walk out as the version of yourself your future self has been waiting for.
I knew I had to be in the room because it's different from like listening to the meditation videos online.
It was really getting into yourself and how you feel and your timelines.
It's time at the event, and it really is. It's wonderful. So, I would highly recommend to anyone, if you get the opportunity to do it, absolutely do it. It really is amazing.
The Reality Revolution live in Anaheim, July 24th, 25th, and 26th. Hilton, Anaheim. 3 days that will change the trajectory of your life. Claim your seat at www.brianscottlive.com/Anaheim.